All right, everyone, welcome to another episode of Snack Reviews. Today we have a rather interesting review. We are going to be reviewing uh, Parle G's. Of course, you all will know what Parle G tastes like, but I have found quite a few varieties which I am very keen on trying. So the first variety is Parle G Royale. Then we have Parle G Gold, Parle G Oats and Berries, Parle G Dark, and Parle G Kismi, Dalchini, and Cinnamon. Although Dalchini Cinnamon is the same thing, I don't know why they named it that. Anyways, I'll be using this as our control, and I'll be grading every Parle G to be either better or worse. I don't think you can really give a score for all of them. I think comparing them against the standard Parle G makes more sense. So first we'll try one of these, and of course I have some milk. It's too late for tea right now, so I'll have some milk. Alright, so first we have our standard Parle G. So, you all know what Parle G tastes like. It's a bit dry. It's meant to be had with tea or milk, so that's acceptable. But flavor-wise, it's very monotonous. But for 5 rupees and for 50 grams, this is probably, this is the best bang for your buck, simply because of how cheap it is. And of course, the 5 rupee packet is kind of small, but the 10 rupee packet is huge. We'll try the Royale first. Let's see. I wonder what's special about the Royale. I don't see any difference, except the packaging. I don't see if there's anything. I'm not gonna check every single ingredient. If there's something special, they'd tell us about it. Okay, that's interesting. They're stacked differently. Instead of the Parle G being stacked vertically, these are stacked horizontally. Let's see if that makes a difference. Oh geez, okay. These are huge. So that's the difference. The Parle G Royale, this is normal Parle G but larger. I don't know why that would be useful in any context. So here you get 5 rupees for 50 grams, and here you get 72 grams for 10. So this is twice the price and only 44% more. Okay. And okay, so the flavor is identical, but since the actual biscuit is quite thicker, probably around 30% thicker than the standard, it has a very unique crunch, a very different texture, which I find to be much more enjoyable. Is it worth it? You're spending what, double the price for 44% extra. Financially not worth it, but honestly, it's not, doesn't taste any different, so it's not a big deal. But I enjoy it. I can see why it exists. Its existence has been validated. Let's now check Parle G Gold. This is also how much does this cost? It's probably 10 rupees, because who spends more than 10 rupees on Parle G? I'm not gonna waste time. This is gonna be an hour-long video otherwise. Oh, it's broken. This looks identical to the normal Parle G. Is ever so slightly thicker, probably another millimeter. What does it taste like? It tastes like Parle G. Why does this exist? This has no reason to exist. What is the difference? Okay, this is only a brand name. This is only a brand name or trademark, and does not represent its true nature. I.e., this product does not contain gold. I mean, that should be like self-explanatory, but literally, what is the point of this? It doesn't do anything. The Royale at least has half an excuse to exist, but gold, there's no point of it. Let's try oats and berries. I'm excited for this one. So here you get, for 10 rupees, you get 94 grams, and here we get 10 rupees for 100 grams. So it's almost the same price as normal Parle G, but it has oats and berries. So I am excited for this one. Let's see if it needs to exist or not. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing oats. I'm seeing oats in the biscuit, which is a good sign. Oh wow. Incredible. So you can taste the berry. I don't know where the berry is, but immediately you taste the berry. And towards the end, you start tasting the oats. So it is drowned out by the actual Parle G itself. This is a normal standard Parle G with oats and berries stuffed into it. I wish I had less Parle G and more oats, but otherwise, this is actually very nice. This is a genuine good product. I am very happy with this. I am very happy with oats and berries. Let's try dark. So of course I'm saving the best three for last. The ones I have the most expectation from. Now I'm a huge fan of chocolate. I like chocolate flavors. Oh wow. So I'm a fan of chocolate, and I do enjoy Parle G's. So let's see if this is good or not. For 10 rupees, you get 75 grams. So it is not the worst priced, but it is rather expensive as Parle G's go. But if you look at the product, it is completely different, completely unique compared to every other Parle G. Even the oats one was just a standard Parle G with oats and berries stuffed into it. This is a completely different biscuit. Now, there's a very subtle coca flavor to it. But if you didn't tell me this was chocolate, I wouldn't know. The chocolate is a very familiar chocolate. I don't remember. I can't put my finger on what this reminds me of. It's a very familiar flavor. Perhaps Chocos. Yes, Chocos. It tastes like the standard scoop Parle Chocos. Me personally, I'm a Chocos Crunchy fan, so I don't really try the normal ones. But this has a lot of resemblances to that particular flavor. And it's reasonably priced, but it's just not a very good biscuit. Because I'm a huge fan of chocolate, so I'm gonna have rather high standards. I don't think I'd actually buy this. Not because it's not a good biscuit or because it's too expensive. It's because so oh no, it tastes like hide and seek. The hide and seek cookies, the chocolate chip ones, the ones which has the diagonal lines cut into them. It tastes like those. And those are just, I think they're better priced as well. They're slightly better. They have those very tiny, kind of pathetic chocolate chips, but it's something. This is just overall very flat and rather boring in comparison. Now we'll try the most unique Parle G Kismi Dalchini Cinnamon. And this looks, well, it's a slightly darker biscuit. Okay, it's very cinnamony. It smells like cinnamon, but I can't tell if it's like, well, let's see if it tastes like cinnamon. So there's a very subtle cinnamon flavor to it. But it's too subtle. To the point where if you're eating Parle G in a rush, or or having it with chai or something, you probably wouldn't even notice the flavor. In a controlled environment like this, of course, I can notice all the flavors, but in the real world, when you're actually having these in the field, you probably would not notice if this was a normal or unique or like a variation of Parle G. This is okay. The aroma would definitely give it away, but the actual flavor is kind of lackluster. All right, so well, that is all to review them. So first you have, of course, standard Parle G. I'm gonna rate this a 5 out of 10 simply because this is my control and I want my control to have a median score. Second, we tried Parle G Royale. I would rate this a 5.5. It is just a Parle G, which is the size, the width and the breadth doesn't matter, but the thickness, the extra thickness adds a lot of crunch. And if you have it with chai, which the added structure would make it easier to dunk without like it, falling into it, breaking off and falling into it. So from a structure or engineering point of view, it is better than a Parle G, but it's a biscuit. You don't really care about that. So slightly more points than standard Parle G simply because it's better tuned for having with chai. Parle G Gold, I would say this is a 3 out of 5. This is nothing new or unique or interesting. It is simply Parle G in a new packet, and it is very expensive and it is very boring. There is nothing new about it. It doesn't do anything that Parle G doesn't. It's just a Parle G, but it's calling itself something extra, which I don't like. So I'm docking points for that. Then we have oats and berries, a solid, perhaps a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. I really like it, but I really wish it had a bit more oaty, a bit less Parle G, It has enough flavor, it has enough oat, it has enough berry, but it needs less Parle G. The Parle G is overpowering the other flavors. And especially for a biscuit which is meant to be had with chai, you don't want flavors getting masked because the chai is going to overtake a lot of flavors, right? So if you're having it just on its own, it's a perfectly fine. It's actually very nice, but I really wish it had a bit less Parle G in it, and a bit more oats and a bit more berries. But for this price, you absolutely cannot complain. It is a very solid biscuit, very good quantity, just overall very nice. Probably a top 5 biscuit in Indian market. Probably a top 5. But I need to, sleep on it and really decide if it's worthy of that status. Then we have Parle G Dark. It is a 6 out of 5. It is chocolatey. It has chocolate flavor. It is slightly interesting. It is not interesting enough to warrant it more than 6 out of 5. Is it better than Parle G? It is better for me. Honestly, I think I'd rate it just a 5 because it doesn't really offer, it doesn't give me anything that I don't get from anywhere else. Right. If you give me this choice or hide and seek, I'd just rather have hide and seek. Right. It doesn't need to exist, or it doesn't really provide more than hide and seek, so I can't, exactly rate it. I mean, hide and seek is turning into a very popular biscuit, replacing Parle G, so of course it created this to compete, but it needs a bit more kick. It needs more chocolate. It needs something. It's not, you can't just keep on plastering Parle G brand and expecting it to work. So 6 out of 5, 6 out of 10, 1 extra point simply because of my partiality to chocolate flavors. And then we have kismi, dalchini, cinnamon, or whatever. I like the aroma. It's very unique because it is a unique flavor, right? Even the oats is just Parle G with oats and berries in it. This is a completely different biscuit. So is this, but it's kind of bad. This is interesting, but the flavor again is too subtle. If you can have it with chai or even if you have it with milk, it'll probably not even register. So I'd say I'd give this like 6.5 to 7, depending on how I'm feeling about it. From like a uniqueness point of view, yes, this looks interesting. Oats and berries unfortunately gives me diet cookie vibes. This does feel like a biscuit which you'd want to buy and eat. So I do rate it reasonably rather high. So yeah, so we have of course the best oats and berries, absolutely wonderful. I'm gonna actually finish this packet. Other packets I'm just gonna leave at home for my parents to have. This I'm gonna keep for myself. It is very nice. Of course, I'll let my parents try it, but like, let's be real here. I don't want to. I'd rather have the whole thing to myself. Chocolate it's all right. I'm partial to chocolate. I don't believe you guys really need to buy it. Parle G Royale. If you have Parle G with chai a lot, consider this. The cookies are larger, so they hold their structure better. It is a better biscuit to have with chai than standard Parle G. Standard Parle G 5 out of 10 on like if you this is just a normalized score 5 out of 10. If you like compare it again with everything else, probably a top 3 biscuit in the Indian market. Probably, I mean, definitely top 3. I don't want to give it top 1 status because I don't really buy this because I want to have it. I buy it because I can have it and it's very cheap. It's not a very aspirational biscuit, if you know what I mean. So over here in this context, it's a 5 out of 10. Otherwise, do not get me wrong, it is absolutely 9 out of 10. 1 extra point lost because it is not aspirational. But you have to respect the king. Parle G Gold, it is complete failure, complete disappointment. It does nothing. It has a shiny packet. I was excited for this. I thought, they have, maybe a buttery flavor, maybe this or maybe that, but it doesn't do anything. It's a complete farce and a complete joke, and it does not need to exist. Why it exists is beyond me. Probably some marketing shenanigans. Either way, do not go for Parle G Gold. Buy oats and berries. Buy kismi. If you are sick of hide and seeks but you can't stop eating them, go for dark. If you have chai a lot, go for royale. Otherwise, you go for standard. Do not go for gold. Simple as that. Now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.